Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd. It is our What If episode 2 stream. Basically, what if T'Challa was Star-Lord, or as I like to say, T'Challa was Mother effing Star-Lord.
Yes.
I like the Captain Carter episode. Groove just said this before we started the stream that he liked it, but this one topped last week's.
Hell yes.
Last week's. This was a very good episode.
Absolutely. I don't know how we're gonna do better in this episode. It was, and then the send off to Chadwick Boseman on the credits. I was like, almost teared a little bit. I was like, "Go on, sir." I'm saluting him, but
I actually want to see this movie. Well, to be fair, I wouldn't mind seeing a Captain Carter movie either, but I really would love to have seen this version live action. I think this would have been bad because it's like, what if little T'Challa's talking to Daddy, saying, Daddy, I want adventure. I want to go out and see the world. And his dad's like, yeah, I already did that, so you don't need to do that because people are evil. I'm like, like, but I need to live my life, so I'm gonna go play without any guards watching me for some reason. Out in the middle of a field, go through the barrier that protects Wakanda from the rest of the bad world, and then be excited that I'm being abducted by a UFO.
he was literally a combination.
Oh, I think you froze again.
And James Bond.
Say it again. You froze for a second. I don't know what's going on.
He's a combination of David Tennant's the Doctor, James Bond, and Robin Hood. He was all that in one character.
He was.
And I was like, yo, what? They even gave him the walk swagger and whatever. It was he like everything Peter Quill wanted to be or couldn't do. That's what he was.
Like, he was completely. It was like a yin and yang thing because everything, like how they would treat Peter Quill, Star-Lord, was like, "Who are you?" Like he said, "I'm Star-Lord." Like T'Challa never had to say that. Like people were just like, "Oh, you're Star-Lord. You're the greatest everything in the freaking galaxy." Everybody loves him. I mean, it's just like you did this. You saw, you saved my planet. You cured, all these intergalactic diseases. You took from the rich and gave to the poor. We love you, Star-Lord.
It was absolutely amazing. He was always like, no, it's okay. It's just a title. I don't even agree with it. And then like coming up, he was like, hey, like I like to fight you, but whatever else, like it's okay. Give it your best shot. He was done. It's fine. Use it. I'm like, what is going on, man?
He was like, just like when he was fighting his biggest fan that he ends up hiring, he's like, now come at me again, but faster.
Like I said, I'm gonna say this now. Like I was gonna say earlier, but I'm saying it for this, so people can hear it. It reminds me back when I was in college and in high school and in college especially, when people would challenge me to like sparring matches, and I'll be like, okay, try that again. Next time use this and this, and put that foot forward, and make sure your weight is put this weight. Make it more 80-20 than you had like this 30-70. It reminded me of that entirely. And I was like, you know what? I need to get back to feeling that way. I think that was when I saw him do that, I was like, man, I can relate to that so much.
I love the fact though that again, T'Challa would like when he meets Yondu, you would think he'd be like, oh no, I'm being kidnapped by these strange people, and he's just like happy. He smiles, just like, screw Wakanda, let's go in space. He's like, peace out, Daddy. Like, okay, but I will say this: they solved racism in this like 100%, because when he got on the ship, Yondu asked the rest of the Ravagers, does this kid look like this kid? He shows a picture of white ass Peter Quill, and then he's pointing at T'Challa, and he's like, what do you see? And they said, oh well, all humans look alike.
Right. The man said, he said two holes, one hole, like two holes stand, smelling, one for eating. Like, I don't get the problem. We found what you're looking for.
Yeah, I was like, mic drop.
Like, you know what though? You know what though? Political discourse.
I mean,
social politics, identity politics. Where are we at, y'all?
Well, I really love the fact that they got some of the voice actors to come back, but I was really confused because So I know we got Josh Brolin do Thanos, and we'll talk about Thanos in a minute because he's a
That was
whole ass mess.
hilarious.
Oh, he's a mess. Of course, I got Michael Rooker to come back as Yondu. This was the last thing that that Chadwick ever did. So of course he did T'Challa. I was looking through the cast list, but it was really interesting. Like even Karen Gillan did Nebula, but Drax was not played by Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista actually spoke out about that because people did ask him why wasn't he in it. He said he never got a call for it.
Yeah, I wonder what that's about.
I think the reason they said was like they couldn't get because there's like so many steps to talk to somebody in Hollywood to do anything, and I think they went through so many different hoops, like just trying to get to him. I think because Dave Bautista does more than just that, so I think maybe he was just busy and never got the invite. Like the invite never reached him, but they did say, I keep saying these weird ominous pronouns, but they did say they try to contact him. How true that is, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know because you got Kurt Russell, you got Josh Brolin.
Kurt Russell
be able to get Bo Batista.
Kurt Russell had his one little moment to take his son away and eat him, and it's
like we will talk about that in a second because that was funny. All right, so let's talk about technically the plot. So they meet up with Nebula. She's like, I owe the Collector a debt. And so originally you're thinking she's betraying him because, she's like, they set up this coup to go there and they're stealing, what was it called? Oh, why did I just go out of my head? Let me look at my notes. What was in the vial?
I can't remember that plant that can just bring life anywhere.
And I knew the name.
I forget though. I forget what it was called for real.
I will come back to that. But anyway, so they're going to get this, and actually what's really happening is she's still going to steal this, but they're actually trying to double cross the Collector by stealing it from his collection. But the original plan was for Nebula to double cross T'Challa and deliver him to the Collector, who wants to put him, of course, in his empty case. Because he's always had a few screws loose.
A few. Him and his brother. Both of them.
But nobody knew about the plan except for Nebula and T'Challa. They didn't tell anybody else. So there's two things going on during the mission. T'Challa, who we heard earlier talking to Nebula about his planet being destroyed, or his home Wakanda being destroyed, because he's like, oh, my home was wiped out. He finds out that's a lie and that, Yondu just didn't want to give him back because he considered him to be his kid. So he's like, you're one of us, which is so funny to me that Yondu, because it is the same thing we saw with Peter eventually in Guardians, but it took a while for us to get there because it kind of looked like an ex-boss that was jilted by Peter and he was just wanting revenge. Not that he actually considered him to be like a kid to him. So yeah. And then we learned that Yondu was actually cool as hell and didn't give him to his dad because he thought his dad was shady. So I like that, but
it's the best part about it, honestly. I like the little reference jab. Like, if I wasn't here, you probably missed some teeth. Like, oh yeah, you had a whole set of fake sharp teeth because of dealing with old failure. I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna say this straight out. Peter Quill was the reason why Thanos won. T'Challa is the reason why Thanos is like, you know what? My bad, y'all.
I did love the fact that every time they would talk to Thanos and he would talk about genocide, they're like, you're talking about genocide. He's like, not really. It is necessary.
This dude was sitting there like, oh, there's so much. And then you see Thanos like, actually, he's like, I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm kind of over it. Dude was all nervous and stuff. Was like, it's still genocide. Well, tomato, basically. Like, tomato. No, bro. What? No. So I'm talking about killing everybody. Don't be a Drax. That's not cool.
And I love how, and I remember in the comics, if I remember this, there's one particular issue at the end where you see him sitting in this garden. And I love how in this they're talking about how Thanos is in the gardening.
Yeah.
And then they're like Nebula and him, T'Challa's like, I've been trying to get them to go into therapy. I'm like, this is crazy. This whole thing was crazy. I'm like, if this had played out in the MCU, it would have been effing insane. Absolutely effing insane.
If we had MCU, that'd have been the only movie they had because that's all they could tell. That's the only story to tell.
T'Challa was like, remember we were talking about how he talked to Thanos. He's like, yeah, I just used like reasoning and good advice, and it's like it was almost like he was pointing fingers at Endgame and Civil War. He's like, yeah, I used common sense, critical thinking, diplomacy, and good advice. I actually told him, why would you do this when you could have a greater effect on the universe this way? And he got it. And I'm like, it's because nobody tried to talk to him.
Everybody was afraid of him. Like, oh, I don't want to get killed. I don't want to get stabbed and all this. And hold on, what is this? Okay, look, let me explain something. Okay, her being bald wasn't unattractive, I guess, or kind of matched her. But she's not a warrior in this one. She don't have to be. She don't gotta be.
Well, to be fair, she could have been a warrior. The way I see this is, it's what if Thanos hadn't used the snap, but he still
still
adopted her. So she probably just like got some hair. Like later on, she's living her own life now.
what I saying by anyway, but what I assume is that since they stopped Thanos, they probably stopped him before he did all the genetic modifications to himself and his daughters. So it's like, she doesn't have all that extra on her like she did before. The eye is still messed up. She got that from losing. Yeah. But like all the extra stuff and the stuff up here, because remember when they replaced part of her head to make her more quick-witted and more had not just more accuracy but more quick reflexes and all that stuff, that never happened. So she can grow her hair out. She can get her curves. She doesn't have to worry about working out every day and training to become a warrior. She can actually be a little bit like sexy she wants to be. That's cool. I think that's neat. She can, like, we saw Nebula as her own woman, like the first time in any comic book. So, like, because I don't know any Marvel issue that has her being her own woman. That's a new thing. Like,
well, I mean, and like I said, I like that they're doing that, because in the other version, she was broken and emotionally messed up, and it wasn't until she started really bonding with Gamora that she started, coming out of herself. And in this version, it seems like we didn't even have Gamora because we didn't have Peter, so we didn't have that connection. And I guess for some reason we don't know about Gamora. I don't know, but
they thought to themselves, what if Nebula was Amy Pond post model without the doctor around? What was she doing?
What it is.
And that's what they did. They gave Kara Gillian the Amy Pond effect for Nebula.
With blue
and
skin,
like that,
blonde hair.
Yeah, he shouldn't have Gamora at all, because Gamora never got kidnapped. He never went to that planet, as far as we know, obviously.
But I love Amy Pond. She's got her first name is my middle name, so Amelia. So I love her to death.
But how I feel about Amy.
Yeah, but you're wrong. You're just wrong. So anyway, Corinna, the collector's servant. What I loved about her was, remember, she tried to stand up to him in the last Guardian movie. It did not go well. Like, she ended up dying. But in this version, not only does Corinna get her revenge, and Collector gets trapped in one of his own cases, she lets everybody out to beat his ass. I was like, see what you did there, Marvel. I want to see what you did. Like, it's these little things that I just loved about it. Like all these little differences, I mean, you got the Challa walking in the bars and people are praising him. Peter goes into the bar. They get ready to arrest his ass. They don't even know who he is half the time. So I absolutely love it. Like T'Challa's he's a better Star-Lord than Peter.
Oh, hands down. I mean, what's his name? Jimon Honso's character. What was it, like? Gotcha, something? Hold on. The one that didn't pay him any mind in the beginning.
Oh gosh.
Peter Quill any mind.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember his name. I have to go back and look at the cast list again.
So I'm trying to see it now. Let's see. You're already gonna catch it before I do.
No, I haven't even entered in the Google guy. What's wrong with you? You gave me a mission, and I wasn't on my agenda, so now I got to do it. So Korath
the Pursuer.
You beat me one time. That'll never happen again. Like,
Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyway, but no, Korath. Everything is in that first little thing. When Korath first saw Quill, he was like, "What the hell are you?" Like, oh, so you never heard of the legends, the stories? Legends, stories, killed this man, you know. But when it came to like, you know, to Challa, he was like, you know, he was like, what was it? What was it? He was like the episode of the Avatar Last Airbender where dude's over there.
I am done with you, Groove.
That's what Korath was like. There was like, oh, yo, Korath, yo, hey man, hey dog, hey, it's just he's just one man. He just tells you it's okay. Try come at me if you want to. It's like, and then when he hit him, he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, no, it's fine. That's the point.
I like that. I love that was the opening. I mean, don't get me wrong.
No.
And Guardians of the Galaxy, I love the dance. I love the whole dance montage. And, you know, at the beginning of Peter, that was really well shot, very well executed. I love the soundtrack. It is what it is. But I love when T'Challa he wasn't even breaking a damn sweat. He's just like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Like, and the other guy's like, I love you. I absolutely love you.
Like I said, I said it before and I'll say it again. I like that part because it reminded me of high school and college, especially college. I used to get those challenges and treat them the exact same way. And it has this really weird feeling of nostalgia from like, man, when I used to do that, they'd be like, oh, I'm gonna get you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, oh, no, next time throw with your shoulder. With your shoulder. Oh, okay. That wasn't too bad. Let's try this again.
That's what you get for like being Bruce Lee in college. I'm just saying. The Collector, Gila, Thor, Korg, and Captain America. We did see this.
Yeah,
they had all the. We saw Captain America's shield. We saw all of the weapons taken from them that the Collector got. I don't know how the hell he killed these people because that doesn't make a lick of sense. How the Collector had. I mean, yeah. To be fair, he was using other tech that he, was stealing. But
I will say this. I think my headcanon fan theory for this what if universe, Ragnarok happened and no one survived like they don't in Ragnarok. And so when they all were gone, he collected the weapons. That's my personal theory. Big question is, how the hell did Yondu's little whistle spear break that helmet? But
yeah.
That's one thing I cannot get past. Like, you broke that with your little toy? How in the world you manage that? Like, I get it.
Well, I think Mercenary has a good question too. T'Challa shouldn't have the Star-Lord name in the original timeline. It was a name given to Peter by his mother. True, but remember, this is the yin to the yang, so everything is different. Because let's be clear, by the time T'Challa was the age he was when he went back to Wakanda, his dad was already dead. So at that point, Civil War had already happened. Obviously, they already prevented Endgame. Daddy should not be there. So a lot of things were different. Plus, I'm gonna be real. Their security was very lax in Wakanda compared to what it is in mainline MCU. Everybody just come out and just walk in, and nobody seemed to have a problem. Like everybody just seemed to accept that, initially before they even asked the question that Yondu brought back their son, but at the same time, nobody immediately said, "Wait, you were the MF who kidnapped him in the first damn place."
I'm gonna tell you the truth. That I was pondering that. After I watched it, like during the night, I was like, why? But then I thought about it. He talked Thanos out of destroying half the universe. So,
true.
What say he couldn't talk his parents into just accepting the fact that I'm back and be happy about it? That's my interpretation. And I know it's loose. I know it's garbage, but that's all I got. Because I mean, T'Challa was like impossibly magical. T'Challa was a true Disney hero. Like there's no other way around it.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people are also theorizing that if Thanos is not out trying to get the Infinity Stones, and maybe that's what Gamora is doing, and maybe Gamora is trying to become the new Thanos, which is why
Thanos didn't attack him more.
Yeah, that's just something I read on one of the theory boards this morning, because I was like, that's a very interesting.
That's a stretch. That's a big stretch.
Very interesting take on that.
What's his name? I'm almost the Power Broker, not the Power Broker. The Grandmaster. He might be doing that. I can see him doing that. Like the Collector's brother. I can see that happening. But Gamora, why? Gamora grew up a regular, ordinary girl life. She's probably a grown woman now, married to somebody of her own species. Working a job. No, probably had kids, and she's feeding them all kinds of fun foods and water, and I don't know, whatever. I can't see. in this timeline, Gamora is no longer a factor. What I want to know is how the hell you have Captain America's shield? Where'd you get that from? Where did you come across this? Is he dead? And now it lets me know that these what if stories don't.
I have learned in comics that anything is possible. I literally just filmed a very first trash comic with Joe's Geek Show where we trash Avengers issue 200, where Captain Marvel is literally pulled from obscurity into another dimension and all that problematic stuff that happens after that. So I will be posting that later. But since by that being the case, that literally means that anybody can be plopped out of whatever universe, Earth, multiverse, reality they are in the Marvel and let's be fair, in mostly every other comic universe. So, honestly, Captain America could have been sitting on his toilet taking the shit. And there was like, bam.
He got the Pulp Fiction treatment. He's over taking the shit. Bruce Willis opened the door and was like, oh, whoa, dead.
I mean, it's not an unfair thing. But again, like a lot of things I loved about this, I really do love that. And I know some people that didn't like this episode, which I don't know why you wouldn't like this episode, are probably going to say the only reason that T'Challa got as much clout as he got is because, Chadwick passed away. And so, but I mean, I counter with he voiced this and this is before he passed away. So, I mean, it wasn't like they were showing him homage, how can you show homage to him and he's not dead yet? So
exactly.
I'm waiting for these comments because it's going to happen. But
exactly. Actually, I've actually heard from somebody I know at work. He was telling me what he didn't like about it. He liked it, but two things he didn't like. He didn't like how T'Challa was so nice. Like you say, he was too nice to him. And I was like, that's a weird thing to dislike.
Yeah,
he didn't like that, and it was what else he said? He didn't like how Challa was so nice, and he also didn't like it was a question he had about like how he was strong or something. No, it doesn't matter. The major thing
he might have been talking about the fact that I think I even said this to you, the fact that he already seemed to fight as Black Panther, even though because he was doing like the way he was landing, he was doing the Black Panther pose, like all of that when he was fighting, he was moving around like Black Panther. We see Black Panther fight like so. It's interesting, but I mean, I guess it's in his genes. I don't know because as far as I can tell, he has no connection, to being Black Panther at this point.
I can only assume that he took the little heart-shaped cup as a kid. Because he threw that spear pretty far for a little boy. But I did tell him when he said about the whole him being so nice thing, he wasn't nice in Black Panther. So you remember in Black Panther, he had to live with the experience of his dad casting out his brother and his brother's son and rejecting all foreigners entirely, and had a whole different reason for keeping his son locked away and bringing him up with those lessons. There's a huge difference. Yeah. So like you're talking about,
and quite frankly, him casting out his brother and Killmonger probably still happened.
Yeah, probably.
But when he said people are evil or people are basically, he's like, people are trash. Let's just stay behind this little barrier and just live our own lives and let everybody do them.
Hey, you never know. It might not have happened because he lost his son. And it was like, well, take value. But then again, I don't know. We're not on Earth. We don't know what happened on Earth.
We don't know the time. The thing about Marvel is the timelines are always timey-wimey, so we never know.
Timey-wimey, Jeremy.
Yep. I love how they mentioned the Celestials, especially since they dropped the Eternals movie trailer, which I have seen. I have not done a reaction video to it. I hadn't had time. But I did watch the Eternals trailer and it's pretty damn good.
Full disclosure, I have not seen the Eternals trailer.
It is pretty damn good.
I've seen all the Shang-Chi ones.
I'm excited for watching it. So I was on the fence because it took so effing long, and I was like, we got stills, but pictures don't show you anything. No. They just don't. I remember when Starfire and Titans first they started showing pictures of her, people were like clowning, and then it came out and you saw this was just literally a picture of her from one effing scene. She didn't even look like this. It was just one effing scene where she had to dress up a certain way, and I'm just like,
we know why they were clowning her because her skin was too dark. We know what this was.
But why was it too dark? It was a beautiful shade of orange.
No.
Anyway,
You know what I'm talking about. Don't play.
That is look. That is all I'm claiming. Okay, so the collector though. So I will say the collector was extremely effing funny. Like it was extremely
It was
effing
actually
funny.
I like how strong he was. He must have did the
I
same.
know.
He must have augmented himself the same way Thanos did during the time. Because he was like, okay, the collector could maybe throw a punch. And he's old. He's been in the universe for a long time. He's one of those immortal types. But he's never been shown to take on like a good fighter hands on. He's like, oh, wait, before you slap me, let me give you something. Let's strike it. Calm down. I don't want to get my face hit. I don't like bruises. I bruise easy. But this, he was more like, okay, before we get this started.
He was like hooped up. He reminded me of effing He-Man. I was like, okay, you've been in the special sauce of it there.
He's out there with He-Man and Chilla. They was eating people and getting stronger.
Smashing planets with their hands. Yeah, he was OP. I don't know what's going on with that. I guess if this was a video game, we must have done maybe a quest.
They had to give
too many, and we got to upgrade or got
They had to do the opposite with T'Challa. They couldn't give him a hand-to-hand fight because he's going to win it. They knew that already. They couldn't give him a fight where he had to outsmart the person. That was obvious. They had to give him a fight where he literally had to use some brawn on top of brain. That's what it was. Because they built T'Challa as being this smooth criminal kind of guy. I was like, all right.
Hey, I don't have a problem with that. I thought I
don't either.
T'Challa was a much better Star-Lord.
Oh, hell yes.
This takes me to Marvel. I think Marvel does this all the time because I'm going to say, disclaimer, Superior Spider-Man. Doc Ock was a hell of a lot better at being Peter Parker than Peter Parker was at being Peter Parker. And
I lost my glasses on that.
He's better than Spider-Man. So
no,
my favorite thing about that is when he was in a restaurant with Mary Jane and she's like, do you have time to have dinner with me? Don't you need a patrol? He said, oh no, I have these little spider nanobites or nano things. And they're just like, they're all over the city. They got cameras. They let me know if something's going down. And I'm like, what? And people are like, well, he's rich. I'm like, no, he wasn't rich. He made Peter rich. He literally walked in this boardroom and like, this is what we gonna do.
This is what I don't like half the time. People I hate this. They do that shit and it's like, Peter Parker did this on his own. Peter is a genius. Like they like to take, but they take the piss. It's like they can make a whole other person be Spider-Man. It's like, what happens if somebody else with a different type of intelligence decided to be Spider-Man for you? Because it's a big question though. I mean, I know it probably just keeps him busy, but when you're that powerful, Peter Parker is so strong. He really is strong as hell. He's like Dragon Ball Z strong on some levels. Oh, maybe Dragon Ball strong. May not go that far, but still, why do you spend all this time trying to catch people who rob banks? You should be doing more stuff like stopping planetary threats. So for the small stuff, why don't you have drones to save that? Or one of the little smaller heroes run around like Kick-Ass or something.
He's just not an entrepreneur like Doc Ock. He didn't have
clearly not.
He doesn't have he couldn't even pay his damn rent half the time. You know that. I love this comment by Look, he said Joe is a better Barry Allen than Grant Gustin. I'm assuming you're talking about Joe's Geek Show because that's who voiced him in our Crisis parody. I do agree with that. I think all of my characters or all of my actors were better characters than the actors that they are portraying the characters. All of them. Taserface got more respect this time around.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. He was treated like he's one of the team. He wasn't just embarrassed by some jackass. Oh, speaking of which was kind of cool. I remember Peter Quill had the little Walkman as his little memento. I like how T'Challa kept his his little family crest necklace, with the vibranium. That was dope. Oh, snap. I didn't know we had that on him. Where did you get that from?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was he had a lot of elements of Black Panther. There was always a moment where you realized that he was meant to be Black Panther, and they showed it. But I mean, it's just interesting because he was such a damn good Star-Lord. So it was he literally could have been Star-Lord and Black Panther, and Black Panther could be like the suit he put on when he didn't feel like fighting. He's like, what? I want to end this really quickly, so I'm just going to put the Black Panther suit on, take your ass out, and then go back to my life. That's what it was like. I mean, in this, I mean, we've had a comic run where Black Panther was in space on the damn planet. So I mean, why the hell not? I have the problem with that. What if Joe West was the Flash?
Yes.
Yes.
Do it.
I'm okay with that.
Make that a thing.
He uses critical thinking skills. So I mean, he actually thinks about stuff. So I have no problem with that. Exactly. I meant Joe's Geek Show. That's what Yuto said. He wouldn't have time to be
a
toddler.
They had it all confused. They didn't know who he was talking about.
Quanon is a hell of a lot better at being Psylocke than Betsy was. Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, no joke. She can stay with Captain Britain. It's fine.
Well, it's because Betsy is Betsy. And I guess you don't know the comic. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but
you don't have to. Betsy, I have a spotlight video on Quanon.
I remember. But Betsy is kind of like a British Karen. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. It is
British Karen.
It is whatever. She was a Karen. She wasn't a Karen. She was a Karen. So of course, Quanon would get better.
All I know is that whole storyline is problematic, and trust me, that will be on Trash Comics. Yondu. Remember when he's talking about you give to the rich and you take from the rich and give to the poor and blah blah blah, and he's like, you're like Robin Leach. This is like comedy gold.
Oh man, not Robin Leach though. Ew, by the way, but not Robin Leach.
Oh my gosh,
man, what a reference! When I heard, I was like, I began to think, is Robin Leach even still alive right now? What the hell?
We should do a problematic Arrowverse run like Crisis parody. Like, because I'm seeing a lot of people say things in the chat, like, what if Sarah Lance was the Green Arrow?
Actually, she might be a better Green Arrow.
She'd be better.
I hit my mic there. There's a gnat flying around. It's trying to get on my nerves. So
it's trying to get on your nerves.
Well, it's doing it successfully. Sorry about that, everybody.
I think Sarah Lance as Green Arrow would have been very cool. I know we're not talking about Marvel, we're talking about Arrowverse, but I really think that would be pretty cool. I see Yuto's like, no, what would happen to, pretty much Avalanche? They're, Ava and Sarah. She'd just become, Ava would become Felicity, or better yet, Black Canary. And they do it right because Ava can fight. And so Ava would
need to write this script and let them know it and save the Arrowverse.
Oh, yes, I will. Let's go ahead and make this real. So Sarah would be the new, she'd be Sarah Lance, but it would be Lance Industries instead of Queen Industries. And she would keep her money. And then we'd have Ava come in as Black Canary. I got this. I got this, man. I got this. I see what's going to have to happen now. Like every time I get these ideas, guys, you're just putting more projects in my lap.
I just looked it up. No, Robin Leach is definitely dead. I had to figure out. Yeah. I knew he died in 2018. Okay.
Yeah.
It's such a weird parallel too. That the guy was talking about the last of the rich and famous compared to the one who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. Like Robin Leach, Robin Hood.
Well, no, like the whole interaction was funny, and then like I said, Yondu, he was nothing like how he treated Peter. You could tell T'Challa did not have a butt beat on that ship at all. He wasn't treated, and being threatened to be fed and be, to other people to eat him like cannibals and stuff like that, are not threatened to leave him on hostile planets when he was a kid. They actually treated T'Challa like he was actually family.
Because T'Challa was raised to be king. So he had a Simba mindset. Well, no, he's better than Simba, but he had a Mufasa mindset. So when he came on that ship, they were just like, this kid speaks some good shit. I like this one.
Is he watching King, bitches?
He even pulled, I like the way they pulled some stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy, like, them leave my son behind and get terrorized by somebody. Like, oh, snap. That's even better line than the whole thing. He may be your father, but he ain't your daddy. That's how he said the line? I think, Yeah. Whatever else, you know what I'm saying? You told me you were going to eat me. I think it's funny that his lie, like, you said they were going to eat me. That was a lie. To Charles was all like, you told me that everybody was gone and dead. How dare you? But then he got over it, though. Like, he's such a reasonable guy. And, like, he's so reasonable that the rest of the Raveners just give him something nice, man. He's
Well,
awesome.
honestly, you know what? I like I said, I really would love to see this version, but also like just said, I remember Yondu is dead, R.I.P. I would love now that we have I'm calling it the Nexus Bridge because come on, guys, we know what the hell it is. So now that we have the multiverse, why isn't there a world where Yondu is alive? And in that regard, why isn't there a world where T'Challa is Star Lord? And why isn't there a well? I will say this: the Watcher did at the end of this when we see Peter working at this burger place. He's like, "What? Sweeping the floor." I'm like, I'm just gonna say, if you really look at how his life was in this, I kind of feel like him being kidnapped saved him from a life of fast food work because he's a
Peter
grown
Quill.
man. He literally just was working at fast, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like you're Star Lord, but now you're a burger lord, is what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna try to look on anybody's profession, but Peter Quill was a pretty untalented dude. His best thing happened to him was getting like that was a lovely parallel, and I don't know if anybody caught that. Peter Quill's greatest thing was being kidnapped.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Their greatest thing was kidnapping T'Challa. Kidnapping T'Challa had nothing to do with him. It helped everybody else out. But it was the opposite for Peter. They got in that different universe that Watu was talking about. Like, what if the Ravagers got lucky and picked the wrong person for the right reason? How will the universe benefit? It's like, oh, the universe benefited out the ass. That was amazing.
Well, and then you see Celestial like Ego at the end, who again the Celestials made the Eternals. Let's put that in perspective here. And so, of course, Kurt Russell's voicing him. And he shows up and he's like, hey, I'm your daddy, basically. And it's like, and then Watcher's like, yeah, this is going to lead to some very bad stuff. It's like, he's making it sound like it's not a big deal. I'm like, it is a huge deal that he found his son.
Hey.
His son has not been conditioned to run from this MF.
You know why it's not a big deal? Because T'Challa's there, figure it out. And I'm aware of him. Like this is like Rick and Morty when Rick was working with what were they called? They weren't the Avengers or whatever else. What were they called? The who cares? Like the Avengers ripoff episode.
Who cares?
If anybody in the comment section remembers the episode of Rick and Morty where they were working with, I can't remember it was another group that wanted to recruit Rick to help them defeat this big evil dude and all this nonsense. And all that jazz. But anyway, I can't remember the name of the group that they were working with. But it doesn't matter. The thing is that he was like this really big bad that this group of Avenger type characters for Rick and Morty were trying to create the perfect team to fight.
Were they the Vindicators?
That's it. That's it.
That's how good I am. Just saying.
Yeah. You looked it up. I know.
That's how good I am. I mean,
yeah. Mercenary X84 just said it, the Vindicators. But yeah, like
you off by 2 minutes, buddy, or 30 seconds. I got you.
But no, it's like the Vindicators and they were like,
how are you?
They were going to go out there and fight and do all this other stuff. And they got there and the main bad guy was dead. And they found out that Rick killed their major foe when he was like drunk. He was drunk out his ass. And like, what the hell? He was like, oh, well, I hate to tell you this, but the stuff y'all worry about, whatever, I fight things like that at least every other day, 3 times stronger in a week. Like it's not a big deal to me. And that's what T'Challa would treat this like. It's like, oh, a whole planet, huh? No, sorry, T'Challa. Oh, a whole planet. Well, let's see if we can take it out. What can we bring back to the rest of the worlds? We can make the universe shine brighter with this planet and its energy. They probably beat him entirely, saved Peter, and took that guy energy to make a brand new star for a whole new solar system. It just is no way you can tell me he didn't. Like, I don't know. It was this episode was so good. It was almost Disney level happy. It was like, what is this? This is amazing.
Yeah, you know what else is funny? I opened my Disney Plus while you were talking. I went to the last scene with Peter. He's working at Dairy Queen. He's a Dairy Queen. Star-Lord to Dairy Queen employee is not lost on me.
Hey, but that's where his mom and dad used to have to go. That's where they met.
That's where they met. Yep. At the Dairy Queen. I think it's very crazy. like just in terms of the timing, because if you really think about it, I think it was 17 years, right?
Yeah.
17 years that T'Challa was gone. And in all of those 17 years, he did try to go home once, but it's like he really didn't seem to be like that torn up about it. And I'm like, don't you miss your mother? And like you talk about your dad, did you not miss your mother at all?
No, because Yondu told me they were all dead, so he let it go.
Yeah.
And he got mad and was like, "You told me they were all gone." Well, I lied, basically. I see Latino Mifune saying Rick Sanchez would make a great Marvel DC super. Rick Sanchez would make a good Dragon Ball Z villain. You playing like Rick Sanchez on a whole different level when it comes to Rick Sanchez versus the Doctor. Let's do that. Not the recent stuff. I don't know how they're doing here now, but like Rick Sanchez versus like Matt Smith or something. That'll be interesting. I want to see that. You think who would win?
Yeah, I would.
I'm gonna give you a hint. It's Rick. They should do Rick versus the Master. That'll be a fair fight because the Doctor don't kill nobody, and Rick would kill the Doctor as soon as he saw him.
Well, technically, some of the past incarnations of the Doctor did not have the aversion to kill.
That's why I said Matt Smith. I didn't go far back.
You didn't go further back. Well, I'm just saying.
I did that for a reason. There's
some doctors have been like, nah.
Oh no, there are some
no
doctors
problem.
that
No problem.
Hell, Christopher Eccleston would have killed him. Like, okay.
He's the emo doctor. So that makes sense.
Chris Eccleston, Peter Dave wouldn't have done it. Tom Baker would have killed him. That's for sure. Like he won't kill a race, but he'll kill a person.
Yeah.
Like don't put it past him. Or I can't think of his name now. Who played the third Doctor again? I can't remember his name. This is really embarrassing.
Wait, what?
The third Doctor.
Right, hold on. I was looking at one of the comments. I don't think I'm looking at this right. Okay, I'm sorry. What did you ask me?
Who played the third Doctor? I'm trying to remember.
John Pertwee.
That's a second. That was a second.
No, that was the third.
Who played the second? He might be right there. Hold on. Like for real, right?
I am absolutely right. He was from 1970, 1974. You know, Doctor Who is my Sesame Street.
Like, yeah, hold on, stop.
Mama. Like,
you better give me a moment. Oh, I'm serious.
You know, I have a big case of all the Doctor figures all the way up to Matt.
That's right. It was Patrick Troughton played the second Doctor. Like, I'm telling you the truth, my Doctor.
Yeah, you see it here at Approach the Nerd. How I've been friends with Groove for what 13 years, and he still doesn't believe a damn thing I say. Like nothing.
First and foremost, I don't believe nothing.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I don't believe nothing nobody say because I'm me. But no, I forgot.
This is the downside of the Sagittarius.
Well, you know what though? The reason I forgot, honestly, is because ever since this timeless child thing, I've been paying attention to it too well. So I'm just like, hold on. My battery's doing something weird. Give me a second.
Okay, I got you. Ant-Man and Peter Quill team up. Baskin Robbins and Dairy Queen. Batman, Baskin Robbins and Dairy Queen. It's still flashing. Make sure you have the plug plugged in all the way.
I'm trying to. Hold on.
I got you. I mean, I can't go anywhere. I'm like, honestly, the prospects of the latest What If series are much more interesting than the original properties. That's very true. I mean, I am super excited about a Captain Carter movie. I would love to have T'Challa as Star-Lord. I cannot wait till next week because all of this stuff is just making my creativeness just go insane. And it's also going to make it hard for me to watch some of the MCU properties because I'm going to be like, but what if they reversed it and like, well, first of all, I would have loved for them to have a Steve Rogers Winter Soldier. That would have been very cool. I would have loved to see how that would have played out. I feel like that is a missed opportunity from last week. So every week we get something and I'm always like, what if we had done this? What if we had done that? So there's so many things that I would like to see. I haven't looked at some of the titles. I didn't look to see what next week's episode is. I haven't looked at spoilers. I did that on purpose because I actually want to be surprised on What Ifs.
I'm doing the same thing actually.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to know until next week. So next week is going to be an interesting. I need something to look forward to in the MCU right now. So that is what I'm doing. But at the same time, I literally I crap you not. I was in here thinking of all these different storylines that all of these characters this week could have taken, and other things I could have put it in. Like, what if T'Challa was Iron Man? I think that would be cool as shit, because everybody would actually like Iron Man more. And it would have had a lot more clout, because instead of him being, the son of a visionary who made weapons, he would still be T'Challa. He would still be the next in line to the Wakandan throne, but he was also Iron Man. And that would be cool as crap. So then he would tell everybody he was Iron Man the same way that Tony Stark did, in his Iron Man movies. But at the same time, he wouldn't tell anybody where Wakanda was. He'd be like, I am T'Challa, I am Iron Man. But no, I will not tell you where my people are from. I will not tell you when they get to my house. Like, that would have been effing cool. That would have been cool. And it would have caused this division, because you're half transparent. Like, you're telling us you're Iron Man, you're telling us your name, you're telling us you're the next king to this place, but you won't tell us where the hell it is. I think that would be really cool. That would be a cool storyline to explore, but it's not gonna happen. Let's see here. Just trying to get back, make sure I didn't miss any earlier ones. T'Challa is royalty anywhere? Yes, he is. It is good to be king. Now, I know they're doing a Wakanda TV series. I'm actually assuming Disney Plus. I am actually looking forward to that a lot. It's going to be very interesting, especially if it focuses primarily on the side characters. Again, this could be a prequel to him. It could be about his dad, his parents. I have no idea what it's about. I am going to research that a little bit, though. But again, I like being surprised. It's how I got through The Mandalorian. I didn't watch any spoilers. I just finished, me and River watched I think season 2 of The Mandalorian last week. We are so behind, I know, but I love you guys. I love doing these reviews. I love my channels, but I also have bills, and I also have other work that I do. So I can't always watch things when they come out. And so I have to be very selective on what I review, because it's a timing thing. So week to week reviews are fine. But like, when I want to watch something, if it's dropped, if the entire series is dropped, or, if it's, sometimes I can do the episode to episode weekly, but if it's a whole series and I have to binge it, sometimes I just can't do it. I don't have time. I just don't have time to watch it. So Mandalorian, we were like, now we can watch this shit. And we watched it, and we had 2 days off, and we just binged the whole damn thing. And I love it. And I cannot wait till season 3. And yeah, I know there's some controversy, but we won't get into all that. But because I pretty much, I read that one of the characters got kicked off for problematic tweets or something. So, it's a thing. It's a shame. I actually liked the character. But again, I'm staying out of all that. Just staying out of it. But I love the show. So yeah, I really am looking forward to Wakanda. Is it called Wakanda Forever? I have to go look and see what the title of the show is. Looking forward to She-Hulk, looking forward to Hawkeye. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, just found the external battery. Just give me a second.
Yeah, you're fine. Like, Peter Quill being kidnapped is something Betsy excels at too. Yeah, Elizabeth Braddock has a habit of being brainwashed, having her eyes replaced and they put cameras in her eyes. I mean, that girl has been kidnapped, brainwashed, manipulated, and almost made into a dark, soulless one so many damn times. But the one thing they did that is still to this day is something I scratch my head over, is by putting Betsy into a Japanese woman's body and not thinking that was, bad.
That makes absolutely no sense.
That's never made sense. And the fact that and it wasn't even like a singular run. It wasn't like when Frank Castle, when he became Black, when Lois Lane decided to be Black for a day, when all these people decided to take on different ethnicities and nationalities temporarily for one day. Yeah, it's problematic as hell, but it's really, really quick. So you just say, oh, that issue was trash. No. Betsy was in Psylocke or Quanen's body for a decade. I'm like, a long freaking time, to the point where new comic book readers to X-Men specifically, or Excalibur, because she was on Excalibur for a while. They all jump around sometimes.
There we go.
Literally, I shiz you not, guys. Nobody knew that she was actually a British white woman trapped in a Japanese body. And so when they got there, when Betsy recreated her original body, and then of course Psylocke got her soul back in her original body, people are like, oh my God, I'm tired of this. They basically did this thing where they made a Japanese or a white woman Japanese, it's an agenda. And I'm like, motherfuckers. I'm like, this is a decade thing. This happened a decade ago. So that's crazy.
Hold on. It's fine. I'm trying to do this thing. I turned on the webcam instead of the actual camera.
Oh, I got you. They better have buttloads of Dora Milaje in the Wakanda. Yes. Like I said, I have a theory on what I want, especially the uprising between my two girls, because you know what? I don't want to spoil anything. If you haven't read the comics and you don't know about my lesbian couple and how they got mad at T'Challa, I will not spoil this. The reasoning.
Yes. And what you're talking about.
Hello, my name is Barry Allen, and I'm the most badly written man alive.
And so he is, by the way.
It's so true. He's the slowest thinking. Like, I don't understand how this man is told to go out and solve crimes, especially with metahumans. But yet he's so slow thinking. Like, he just doesn't think logically. It's like, how can you be a forensic scientist? Because that's basically what you are. You work for CSI, and you have no critical thinking skills. And like, you have none, and you don't have common sense. Like, to this day, guys, I know this is a stream about what if, but I mean, for me, what if is a broad concept in the comic book world, and it also really applies to the Arrowverse. What if Barry Allen made sense? Like, when Godspeed was trying to break into Star Labs, and he's inside Star Labs, and there he's like, I'm glad Iris is back at our penthouse where it's safe. And I'm like, did it not see Refrigerator Girl? Did you not understand what happened to Kyle Rayner's girlfriend when the villain went to the house and stuffed her whole butt into the refrigerator? And he came home to get a beer out, and then there's his girlfriend all squished up and deformed looking in the fridge.
Let's not bring up fridging.
My point that I'm making is why they already know. All of the Godspeeds knew that Barry Allen was the Flash. They just got to look up your address and then go to your house and kill your wife. What is wrong with you?
Unless you're Lex Luthor.
I don't understand why you're dumb. I could not be married to him. I couldn't do it.
Unless you're Lex
I'd just be sitting at home every day like this. No. Motherfucker doing it again. Every day, every mother effing day this happens.
This camera is acting up, so I am going to put this just on the webcam. Hell with it. Make it look classic. It's this big classic look. I'm trying to get that right. I think it just truly died on me. And
it happens. We both use DSLRs. I have a Canon 80D, and I think you have the 7i, and they can be problematic. I've had my camera shut off in the middle of a stream when I have to use my webcam.
It is whatever.
They're not meant to be webcams. They just have damn good quality. Is what.
So I've been trying to toggle it for long, and it's really looking at me like, "What are you doing? No, leave me alone. Let me sleep."
Oh, that's funny. But all right, so. My overall feeling on what if, because I try and bring us back to the original episode, even though when we talk about comics, it's hard not to veer off to other comics and other plots and other live action TV series. But this is not Arrowverse Wednesday, Maria. So stop. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to have an Arrowverse Wednesday. Just talk about everything without just specific reviews. We just talk about all the BS, like I'm going to do with Crisis. I'm going to break down all of Crisis on why and all the stupid crap that it led to and how it made no sense and nothing got accomplished. So, complete waste of time. But all right. So overall, though, we have learned that T'Challa can pretty much be anything, like anything. And again,
what we learned is that T'Challa is a mug G, and there's no stopping it. And it is whatever.
I mean, you're not wrong. I literally every character that I think of, I can see him as. The only one I can't see him as a Black Widow. I can't see him as Black Widow. But outside of that, I mean, he probably
for yourself.
No, I mean he can pull it off. I mean, I saw the pose when he landed in the cartoon. I saw what he was putting out. But I mean, maybe if he borrowed the wig that they had Nebula wearing,
he don't need the wig. He can just carry some locks. That's all he needs. Just grow his hair out. He'd be like, hello, I'm T'Challa. How can I help you?
So he'd be T'Challa Widow.
Sorry. Yeah, he'd be like, hello, I'm Cha-Cha.
He's doing
That
too
nickname.
much. He's doing too much. Anyway, I love that we got to see again the Easter eggs. We had Thor's hammer. We had, of course, Captain America's shield.
There was a Star Wars.
It was his dagger, Malekith's dagger.
Yeah,
we did see that.
There was a Star Wars ship.
Gila's helmet.
There was a Star Wars ship in that background. I can't remember which. There was a Star Wars ship in that background.
No, I thought when they were like flying away that they were on the Millennium Falcon. I don't know why I thought that was a Falcon. And that whole moment where, Nebula is there. It was such a Leia moment from Return of the Jedi where she's like, they're talking about, meeting up later. And he's flying, and instead of having R2D2, they had a dog. I was like, this is such a Star Wars. Yeah.
Speaking of all the cameos, Howard the Duck, Seth Green had more lines this time. What?
Yeah. Well, in the comics, T'Challa had interactions with Howard the Duck, so it kind of makes sense.
It was just dope. And what did he do? Something I would do. Stop to have a drink. Like, where are you going? Like, what was going on?
Well, Howard the Duck was very motivated to move around a lot. Let's put it that way. What if Barry Allen? Wait. I clicked up the wrong one. I'm sorry. Mantis needs to be revised. She's a martial artist.
Yeah.
She was revived. Was she not revived when everybody came back? Oh, I forgot that. My bad. Okay. I guess I was not looking at Mantis hard enough.
No, she's...
Yeah, it's like a Nebula looks better without hair. Hey, it's personal preference.
Hey, did any of y'all reckon that? Did y'all see the party bus in the background? And when they showed the ships, Grandmaster's party bus was back there. It wasn't the ships. I recognized that when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's the one. It was like, it's my birthday. That ship is in the background. I did recognize it. I was like, what the hell? That ugly ass thing? All right.
Oh, if Thanos dropped his bid to destroy half of all life, that means that emo bully Peter could take his place and chase after the Infinity Stones. We can't. Oh, Lord, no. I want emo Tobey Maguire Peter Parker. I guess during his Venom infestation to meet the current Venom in the DCEU.
I absolutely have nothing to say to that.
Nothing
at all.
Could you see the new Venom, especially now that we're getting Carnage in the new movie, and they're just like fighting, and in the middle of the break, they see Tobey Maguire. And then you just see one of them just eat him. like, nah, not today, MF. That would be... what if Peter Parker got eaten during his dance montage down the street when he was Venom? That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. I hope they do something with Spider-Man in What If. They probably will. But again,
a card is kind of, no, motorcycles kind of did something. I was like, what the hell? All right, sorry. No.
Look, I saw that movie where people are online and then something starts happening in the background. Look, I got you. I got my phone. I'll call somebody if you need.
You know what city? you know what city we live in. So don't.
Yeah,
be
I know
all,
where we are.
right.
I know where we are. Man, it's not far fetched. You just disappear. I know what happened.
I want to disappear. I'll show back up. That I did something else. I got weapons and stuff.
Did you see Janae Smollett's Instagram post? Black Canary Project. What?
Wait, whoa, what? Really?
No, I did not. I need it. Look, I'm a Black Canary fan. You guys saw my Spotlight video. If you haven't, you should watch my Spotlight video.
Hold on, wait a minute. Janae Smollett from Bayou?
I want.
Yes.
And is this now which Black Canary? Is it mama or daughter?
It doesn't matter.
I always thought that was creepy about Arrow, about Oliver Queen, was the fact that he was with the mama and he also was with the daughter, and they both had on the same outfit. And it was like, wow, you keeping it in the family. I'm like, and they looked almost identical. And
I'm gonna tell you,
don't get yourself in trouble, Groove, on this.
I do anything. I was gonna say
who you are. I know who you are.
I was gonna say, like,
what if Emo Peter was on Dancing with the Stars? He only has 2 moves, mercenary. He would lose in the first round.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh Lord.
Stop. You understand me? Don't do that no more. Never again. Bully McGuire dancing as Spider-Man 3.
Androids, what if cells in the androids were made by Rick Sanchez instead of Dr. Nero?
They'd have lost regardless. Beerus would have lost.
Wow.
Beerus would have been like, Beerus came down there with Whis and like, I am the ultimate life form. Show him what you can. He just fell out. And Rigger's like, yeah. Rigger been like, yeah, you would have surprised me if, you know, I didn't understand being like yourself beforehand. There's more than a dozen of you.
So Mantis, I'm assuming is who you're talking about. She's one of the strongest martial artists in the continuity next to Moondragon. I think she's only ever lost to Moondragon in a fight.
Truth be told, when it comes to Marvel comics, I don't know the strongest martial artist. Like in DC, I do, which says a lot because I'm not a very big DC fan. But like in Marvel comics, I don't know who the best martial artist is.
Who do you think is in DC?
DC, the Question without question.
So you think the Question can take on Lady Shiva?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the end of our friendship today. Anyway, let's see. Thoughts on Captain Carter? No, honestly, we done.
No.
Captain Carter.
We're taking it there. We are taking it there.
Cool.
We are taking it there. We are taking it there.
No, we're not.
It is said in the Question's original.
You know what's so great about having the power of this wonderful chat, my love, is that I can mute you. Like we are not talking about my girl, Lady Shiva. Guys, insight to me and Groove's friendship. Don't get booted from this island.
Hey.
So thoughts on Captain Carter? That's what we at. We're in Marvel.
We talked about Captain Carter last time. Watch the other video.
So our thoughts on Captain Carter is we liked it. They should make a movie about Captain Carter. I actually enjoyed Captain Carter a hell of a lot more than Steve Rogers' Adventures. Unfortunately, that's not hard for me because I'm not a big MCU Captain America fan. But I would have loved if this was actually the original first Avenger movie. I would have been down with that. The only problem I had is, and I said this earlier in the stream, I would have loved for them to carry through when Steve Rogers got kidnapped in the last episode. I would have loved for them to have made him the Winter Soldier instead of Bucky, since Bucky did not get kidnapped and he didn't fall off the train. So
they already made him the Iron Man, so it was a point.
Yeah, but I mean, I just thought it would have had higher stakes, and that was probably the only problem that I had is that a lot didn't happen to Steve, little scrawny, Steve Rogers when he was kidnapped. Like with Bucky, they started torturing him like almost the moment they received him.
Well, I can kind of see what you're saying. So like you're basically going with the our brain just went boom pat pow. Sorry. You're saying that Rogers would have been Captain America, Iron Man at first, or really the Buster, and then he went from that. Or sorry, what was he called? The Stomper, the Nazi Stomper? It was something.
It was the Hydra Stomper, I think.
Hydra Stomper. Yeah. It was Hydra Stomper. He went from that to becoming what Bucky became, and then later on, Stark's son Tony could end up being the next Captain America based on his dad's science. And actually, that's still that makes sense. I can see that.
That can make sense. Or they actually could have kept Captain Carter as the super soldier, because she still had a connection to Steve Rogers, and then it would have made more sense. Because I've always had this opinion in MCU that the bromance between Rogers and Bucky was just crazy, because Rogers was like, "I'm here for my team." Blah blah blah.
You call it bromance.
I called it that because
I don't call it bromance.
I'm gonna tell you why I call it.
I take it a step further than that. I'm just
soulmate. But now, like when even in Civil War, when they were like talking about the Accord, blah blah blah, I don't want to sign this. Everybody's in disagreement, just like it was in the comics. Well, okay, so actually, MCU Civil War was nothing like it was in the comics, but they both were on different sides of the line. Do we tell people our identities? Do we get checks and balances by the government, or do we not? And Steve was like, "Oh no, I'm not going to do this." And all of these people, I'm taking their side. So everybody's like getting on Steve's side. And then the moment Bucky's in trouble, he abandons all of them. He's like, "All right, y'all got this." And even in Endgame, remember, none of this stuff is resolved, and he went back in time and lived his best life with Peggy. So I mean,
you know what though? Wouldn't you give him the chance to go back and live your best life with your best opportunity?
But the point of the matter is, I wouldn't pretend to be somebody who would jump on the grenade, the one that would take it for the team.
I see what you're saying. Hold on, wait. Let's be for real. How old is Steve Rogers really? Like, he's been around for a long.
I know he's probably never gotten any, and that's probably what he was like. Finally, I'm gonna get some. It's been 70 years.
All the shame on you. All the shame. Oh no! Shade. All the shade on you. By the way, no shade. No, I mean nothing. Awful. I'm not a Steve Rogers fan, but damn, the shade though. What the hell?
Yep, Taskmaster versus Lady Shiva in the Marvel versus DC fight. I would love to see that too. I think Lady Shiva would win. Taskmaster can mimic moves, but lacks the fight IQ of the original. He can move like Spider-Man, but he doesn't have this competency. For example, I wonder if that's what played out in the Black Widow movie. Again, I have not watched this. I won't talk about it because if somebody hasn't seen it in here and they plan on watching it, then I'd be spoiling it.
I have seen it.
I don't know. Well, there is a mini review for it because that's all
I know. I watched a mini review with Joe. I saw it, and he covered it very abruptly.
I told him to. I asked him to do a mini review.
His abrupt review was not wrong.
Yeah, on my channel, if I'm not interested in the movie, but people want a review on it, I will get somebody else to do it.
We all know you don't like Black Widow, so
I'm not a fan of Black Widow. No.
I understand why. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's like, oh, look at her, she's so amazing. No, she's not. But but then again, they gave Taskmaster way too much priority in that film. Like, for her to be as potent as she was as a fighter, to somebody who can, like, I don't know, bend the nose of a tank gun. Like, I don't know. No. It's coming from a martial artist, there's a limit to when you can suspend belief. Like, no. That's like saying, I don't know. That's like Constantine getting into a fist fight with Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he got magic and stuff, but a fist fight, you're not gonna win that fight like that. Don't play. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway. Go ahead. Next comment.
What's your favorite episode of WandaVision? Let's see.
The last. I'm kidding. That was a very rude thing to say. Actually,
the episode I liked is when Monica Rail, Monica Rambeau. I'm looking at an article about Monica Rail, the voice actor, a second ago, and it's in my brain. You know who that is? She's been in a lot of really cool anime shows with Funimation and with ADV for a very long time. But Monica Rambeau, when we first pretty much saw her use her powers for the first time, I think that. Oh, when Wanda actually attacked her and she used her powers, that was probably the best episode and best moment from an episode for me.
The episode separately. Honestly, I really like when the first episode, when they save a dude from choking, it was kind of neat. But I don't know, when Monica became who she is, like, that was pretty dope. I don't know, I can't pinpoint I think my favorite episode might be like not a semifinal. That was really weird. I think the episode semifinal when it was like very Malcolm in the Middle-ish.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think they were going for that. Like, each episode had a different time genre. Like, it was like we had
that was my favorite episode.
Family Brady Bunch type thing and all that. And
man, they didn't do Partridge Family, but I remember that. You remember that?
Well, there's elements of it. Like, they said they took parts from all these different, shows.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
What baby bringing? Come on, get happy. Anyway, but no, like, be for real, like, when he did the Malcolm in the Middle thing, I think that was like my favorite episode. The kid's a little bit older and stuff was moving, but it wasn't. Nothing missed its target mark. That makes any sense. So like there was still progression of the story and stuff was going on. But like, to me, it was like that weird. It was that middle ground before the denouement. That makes any sense. That's why I like it as much as I did. Like, the last episode was kind of sad and tragic. You know what I mean?
It wasn't because it gives us hope that, because I mean, We know White Vision got away.
Yeah.
We know that the kids are still alive because we heard them. We are literally, she's looking in the dark and she hears their voice, so we know what's going to happen. They're throwing so much House of M crap at us without saying it's House of M. It's not even funny. So, it is what it is.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Trust me, if I start talking about House of M and the Mephisto Easter eggs that have been in almost every damn series,
Agatha herself was a whole Easter egg. Jesus Christ.
It's just like, I can't. I can't.
Let's talk about how they made Agatha younger and more attractive. What was that about? Anyway.
Just messing with me. That's what they're doing. They really butchered Taskmaster in the Black Widow film. That wasn't the real Taskmaster. Yeah, I heard. But I don't want to talk about that in here in case somebody did not see it. I don't like spoiling things for people. And I know that movie's been out, but I don't want to talk about that. So let me scroll up. I've been seeing. Oh, so did you like the character Sylvie in the Loki show? Yes. And I really,
I gotta say this now. How funny is it that Loki, of all people, Loki, who loves only Loki, will fall in love with himself? Isn't that the funniest damn thing in the world? That's
the narcissist. It makes perfect sense. Fall in love with a version of him.
He's such a narcissist. It never ends with him. It's like, yo, you can't for a minute just go like, oh man, my bad, Shit.
I mean, if anybody was going to fall in love with himself, it is going to be Loki. And he became a better person for falling in love with him.
Am I the only person that cringed from that, though? Like, no. when they kissed, I legit cringed. I was like, ugh. Like, it was like, me, it was like,
yeah.
You're kissing your sister. You don't feel weird about that? I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know who else. I might not be alone in that regard. But it's like, I don't know. It's like that whole thing. Like, if you met yourself from a parallel universe, you fall in love with yourself. I don't have that kind of image of myself that's so great. That's like, that means a woman.
But I mean, my whole thing about it is, why didn't they just make her Enchantress? Because I mean, that was the thing.
Swear to God, right?
Just created by Loki in the comics and some version, but they never clarifyingly say it. But he took a part of himself and he wanted to see if he could do it. It was like, can I make somebody who literally thinks this person thinks they're an Asgardian and give them all this power they don't know what to do with, just to F with them? Because that is why he did it.
Do you know why?
Of his heart. So
you know why they didn't do that? You know why?
Because
they didn't read the comics.
Well, I believe some of them do, and they just don't care. That's what it is.
I mean, somebody probably done the set. Like, we did this in this issue.
Put too many damn comic book references and Easter eggs that they don't carry through to not read them. I think they do it to actually make us crazy.
The Easter eggs are done by people who work in post, and this, that actually know the source material. And they're like, oh, let's throw this in there. Be funny. Hey, let's redo this one more time. Like, or better yet, like, this wasn't even the original cut. That's why the actors go on the interview shows and stuff, and they're like, oh, I don't even know it was there. It was the whole green screen. They don't know.
Yeah. Well, and it's another thing, like, with MCU properties. Like I said, I love the MCU, but even I nitpick everything. It's just what it is. Because MCU is not perfect. They are great at continuity in terms of making sure all of their TV shows and movies are all connected. Great with that. They seem to have a outline of where they want it to go, and generally speaking, it does tie up, even though it's not what we know. Some of the storylines they're doing, it's not what we recognize from the comics. But you got to understand, the MCU is its own effing universe.
Yes,
I get that. For me, though, for somebody who is I love Kate Bishop's Hawkeye. I love America Sanchez. That's very controversial because, a lot of people are like, no, why do you like her? She's cultural appropriation. She's an alien. How she Hispanic, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but it's a comic book. Don't get me down this road because I can point out problematic shit all day. We would not read comics if we went down that route.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, a lot of people were hating on the young girl who got cast as America Chavez. They said she wasn't dark enough. They said she was too young. I don't hate on her. I'm never going to do that. I mean, she got the role. She's making that money. That's great. What's sad for me, there's a difference between mad, angry, and sad. What's sad for me is I have always loved the friendship and banter between America Chavez and Kate Bishop, especially in Young Avengers. They talk so much shit to each other and they're BFFs. It's going to be very hard when you have like a 14 or 15-year-old girl playing America and a 27-year-old playing, Kate Bishop, to have that kind of banter because they talk about stuff on an adult level. And I just can't see her doing that with a child. So I mean, I don't know if she's only going to be young for this movie, and maybe the timeline of this movie is not the same timeline as Hawkeye, because it's going to be very weird for me to have a young ass American Chavez, because I'm used to her. She is like fire, you know. It's just strange to me. So, but that's why I kind of get in my feelings a little bit about MCU, because they do kind of take characters and they recreate them, and they're like, okay, yeah, this character is this, and it'd be so easy to keep them this, but we want to do this to make it ours. And I'm like, whatever. That's a little bit of Arrowverseness right there. Not as bad, because again, what they did to Black Canary and Mr. Terrific specifically, that was effed up in the Arrowverse.
I mean,
it just is.
Wait, hold on. It's Arrowverse. Nothing good comes of it. You're welcome. Everyone that had no idea.
I'm just going randomly at your comments, guys, to make sure I don't miss any. God, I miss WandaVision. I mean, yeah, and they're not going to have a season 2 that I know of. She's going straight over to the Doctor Strange movie. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, clearly.
I wish we had more time for Monica and her powers developing. I'm pretty sure we are going to get that in Captain Marvel too.
No,
she's in Captain Marvel.
Like, hold on, stop. You know, Monica's going to have a whole lot more time. They got a whole, like, the fact that they had Chadwick Boseman in this recent episode of What If. You think the MCU, they are probably already finished 2 movies by now. They just haven't told you. Like, seriously, they are well ahead of time in production. Seriously. So, like, you know, don't think about too long. Like, it is what it is. You know, it is whatever.
Yeah. I am not a fan of Marvel Black Widow. Me and you are united on that, right? Because I am not
a fan of Black Widow in general.
Not a fan. Let me scroll down there. I'm going back and forth, guys. Let's see. We need Monica and Blue Marvel together. That is another aspect of WandaVision that ticked me off, because I literally thought they were talking about Blue Marvel when they were saying they're going to get that, you know, we got this engineer who's going to be able to help us build this vehicle that's going to get us through, through Wanda's shield to get over to, the town and take her out. And, I'm going to go meet him now. I'm like, oh, they're bringing in Blue Marvel. And it was just like, this woman's like, yeah, so this is the engineer wanted me to give you this. I'm like, mother, why are you doing this with my fragile heart, MCU? Why are you doing this?
Do you want to know why?
Because they hate me.
They don't read the comics. I'm trying to let you know now. Like, they understand to an extent. They don't read the whole thing. They're like, oh, their characters, cool. They pick characters they like, see what they want to see, then they put them in there. That's bottom line. There's no end to that.
Yeah,
Maria, do like I do. Get a little tipsy and watch it. It's fun. I promise you.
Get a little tipsy and watch it.
Like, no. But then if you want to, when you want to watch critique, like I do most stuff, like sober at first. And then
well, I can't drink, so I have an allergy.
Right. Yeah, you can't.
So you just do all the drinking for me. Another thing, since we're calling out things that from WandaVision right now, I know this is What If, but I guess we're done talking about What If. So this is the part where we just talk about a few more MCU spots before we go. A big thing in WandaVision that stood out to me is how many times we saw references of the Grim Reaper, especially since they introduced Sparky, which was the synthetic dog. If you remember the Vision run where he had a family, they moved into this neighborhood and his wife was like batshit crazy and she killed the dog in a rage. And that was Sparky. And so he created a synthetic version of Sparky. And Sparky ended up, basically being electrocuted because he went over to the neighbor's yard and was digging up basically the weapon and the helmet of Grim Reaper. And in the WandaVision, story and the WandaVision episode, he actually goes into the yard and also dies because he's messing around with something in the yard. But they also had Grim Reaper's helmet in one of the openings underneath the coffee table. So I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what they do. They put all of this stuff in to mess with you. Just to mess with you. So...
Also because his name was Sparky, knee slapper.
Well, I mean, even Agatha's son, being basically the rabbit being named after, Agatha's son. the little kid on the milk carton, which more than likely was Sue and Ree Storm's son, because of course
they would never bring. The writers have no idea how to put them into the story. They would never do that. Never.
I just thought it was interesting that the kid, just from how he looked, is exactly how they drew Franklin in the book. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, true. Like
I'm just saying. I mean, you
they would never pull that
boy, and I'm like, okay.
Writers for Marvel or DC and the movie canon, they can. That would be such a bold move. That's why they made Kang the main villain in Marvel right now. There's no way they could ever no, they would never do it. Never. You know how hard is writing characters that omnipotent, like Christ, like whew.
I literally every time I watch something now with MCU, even with Loki, when we saw like the Red Devil in the church window, like the painting on the door or whatever, the stained glass, sorry. I was like, they're throwing Mephisto out again. I said, I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of this crap because I'm just like, I can't handle this emotionally. I like, why in the hell? Every time I see Mephisto now, every time I see an image, a hint of Mephisto in MCU show, I get mad. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
It's like how I felt when they went to in Arrowverse and they went to see Lucifer and it was like, oh, we got to see him for a couple of minutes. This is go, hey, I don't care. Like, all right.
Yeah, I was kind of. I don't know. It's a thing.
Guido, no, I agree with you. Every time I see Mephisto, I think of Vincent Price.
Yeah.
So true.
I can see that.
I agree with Guido. I swear to God. Dude, I agree so much on that one.
This is a good one. What is Monica Rambeau's power level compared to Carol Danvers?
I want to say she's stronger.
Interesting.
I want to say she's stronger. I want to say that.
See, I think that they're kind of the same but different because they have some similar powers but different powers, scopes. Like Carol, for instance, she has developed like this. I forgot what they call it. It's like this power where it's not a sixth sense, but think of it like a spider sense.
Yeah. It's like a sixth sense.
But when she has the spider sense, then she's able to see what happens, in the future. Like she's able to see ahead of time. And it's not like Spider-Man's like, I'm seeing like this fist coming at me, so I know to, dodge. It's literally like, oh, I just saw myself. If I did this, we all effing died. So let me rewind and just do this. And it's like, she has a power like that. And that's not something that Monica has. Monica has stuff like ability, power absorption.
I would say her power absorption does kind of help her in a little bit. But at the same time, like Monica has a little bit more, no. Let me take that back because Captain Marvel has a different survival sense than Monica.
Well, because they're both like I said, everybody compares them, but they're actually different. They're very different power scopes, so it's hard. Like Monica has freaking immortality at one point.
That is true.
So we got Carol, who's whole ass part Kree.
Okay, so are we asking MCU or Marvel Comics as a whole?
Well, let's be clear. We have no effing clue what's going to happen with MCU. They are their own universe, so they can.
That's true.
They can dumb them both down as far as we're concerned.
If we're talking about Marvel Comics, then they probably give Rambeau the win, but it'd be a win on a technicality.
It depends. I feel like her storylines are better written. Again, Avengers 200. Don't get me down.
That's what I'm saying. Though they gave Monica Rambeau's character has so much more character than Carol Danvers, and they would give her the win because of the character development. That's what I'm saying. It's
Monica
like
Rambeau is strong all in her own right.
Yeah,
and what I love about her, I love Bumblebee from DC. And I always see Bumblebee as this very strong woman, but she's gone through a lot of shit and it made her not want to be a hero. Monica has gone through a lot of stuff and it seemed to motivate her to want to be a hero even more, but she's not cocky with it. She's not like, this is my power. What you going to do about it? Kiss my butt. It's not this whole level of, yes, I have all this tremendous power. And yes, I am a whole ass immortal. Fear me. It's more like, oh yeah, I can do this. And yeah, I may not be able to die. She's so humble with it. I don't know. I like Monica a lot. I just like her a lot. I'm not saying Carol is not problematic, but again, there are versions of Carol. It really depends on the version of Carol. Because
that's why exactly what I'm saying. It's like it just depends. Like,
yeah,
which version are we going with here?
Yeah, she's written in a lot of different ways, and by a lot of different. There's a lot of different interpretations of her. Some she's gullible and weak. Some she's not gullible. She's extremely strong, doesn't take shit. Some she's very militant. Some she's very feminine, and she's a good fighter, but she kind of lets the big boys handle the fight. So it just really depends. It depends if you're talking like Silver Age, or you're talking about. I mean, it's a very broad question. So if you're asking me comic wise, I can't answer that. But if you're asking me MCU wise, I'm gonna tell you. I guess technically I can't answer that because MCU is gonna just change it all any damn way. Like I will tell you another thing that puts me in my feelings, and I said this a million times in a million different streams. We have Jimmy Woo. We have hints of the Atlas Foundation because they keep saying, you're going to be a great leader. You're going to be doing all of this stuff. And I'm like, but where is the Atlas Foundation? You literally had Monica tell him, you have great leadership potential. In literally the last episode of WandaVision, she says this to him. You make a great leader. And I'm thinking, is he already a great leader? Do we already have Yellow Claw? Is this stuff already effing happening? And it's like, I don't want to get my hopes up because Mephisto, Grim Reaper. Do I need to go down the list of Easter eggs?
You want to hear?
Yeah, if this turns out to be another damn Easter egg, I'm gonna be mad as hell. I'm gonna be mad as hell.
Be
mad.
Tickle your fancy there. Easter egg. When you said Yellow Claw, guess what I thought of?
Who?
Just wild guess. You said Yellow Claw. What did I think of?
In comics or in cartoons?
In let's say anime, because this is where it came from. You said Yellow Claw. What I think of next?
Oh, and why are you doing this in anime? That's so vague.
It's what I thought of. I thought of something. It's an anime related topic. You said Yellow Claw. What did I think of?
You see, guys, do you see what he does to me? He doesn't understand. I'm old, and he doesn't understand that I don't have memory like that. And then he makes me quiz on my own damn channel.
Hey, you know what though? When you know the answer, you'll be like, "Damn it, I knew that one." I'm telling you right now.
Well, first I thought you were talking like old school, like cartoons. You're talking about
actually, it is an old school cartoon. It's an anime.
Well, the anime that could be old or new. That's not new. But you say this is an old anime?
Yes, it is.
The Yellow Claw? I mean,
claw is the key word.
It's not Inuyasha because that's not old enough.
No,
I don't think it's Rama. I don't think it's Rama 1/2.
You gotta go back another decade or two.
But there is an episode with Claw, but you're not talking about that.
No, I'm not. I know you're talking about, but no, I'm not. It starts with a P.
It starts with a P? What does it end with?
R. Before the claw.
Before the claw?
Yes.
Wait, so is claw in the title?
Yes, I give it a hit. Doom 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 doom. You know what I'm talking about. You know the anime. What was the organization called?
You're talking about Cutie Freaking Honey.
No, I am.
You're talking about Cutie.
Panther Claw, damn it. Panther Claw. Every time I heard you say
Panther Claw is nothing like Yellow Claw. Stop talking.
It's not. It's not. It's not. But every time you said it, my brain just kept going. Panther Claw. Panther Claw. Don't you give me. Don't you? Hey. Don't you give me that. You stop.
5
you
years.
Know.
Look. Made my lipstick fall off. I'm tired of you.
You know what I'm about. You know you felt that nostalgia. You know, it's like you can do some real. You got this. She didn't got this.
You know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. See, we about to show some ages here. Okay, I was born. I'm gonna tell you what I was born in December 8th, 1976. You know personal stuff about me now. This person in this chat was born 10 years, basically later than me by 1 day. Because he's a December 7th. So we are at 10 days and 10 years and 1 day apart.
December 7th.
So those 10 years and 1 day makes me older than you, which makes my brain cells and the part of my brain cells that are holding on to the long-term and short-term memory.
When it comes to nerddom,
and it's just gone.
When it comes to nerddom, there is no age, only experience. I don't know what that means.
You say that now. You wait 10 years from now. You don't even remember what the toilet paper is. I don't want to hear that shit. Anyway, I don't hear that at all. No, sir.
You knew that reference. You knew the reference. That's when I started going doom 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 doom. You
started it. I started like singing in my head. I was gonna sing it out loud. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get copyright claim. I want Monica to dethrone Carol. I mean, it's not hard right now. With
this what if universe, I mean, hey, do it. Do the damn thing. It's not
hard.
You see what Challa did to Peter? Come on, man.
Yeah. Let's see. It would be funny if the MCU made a Blue Marvel movie and it ended up displacing Superman's place in the cinematic culture. I mean, why not? I'm like, why not?
I said,
I want them to make a rocket movie.
That would be awesome. I don't need to tell you all that. You know, if y'all don't know, I prefer Marvel over DC. Period. But
see, I don't have that hang up. I like them all equally.
No, I mean, I'm saying I have that hang up.
I have that. I don't have that. I don't do this preference.
As a youth,
as a mother, I don't play favorites with my children. Sorry, I don't do that.
Okay, here you go. As a youth, I've always preferred Marvel over DC. So
let me get my water of truth.
Oh, so you're lying?
I always preferred whatever the heck I could get from the comic book store that was on sale.
She drinks that water when she's trying to convince herself her lie is the truth. There you go.
Now they know who Angry Grandma is. They're trying to save your life, boy. Anyway.
I know you better than they do. What are you talking about?
Let me see. I think I read this. But of course, that's just my take, not saying you're wrong. I just don't consider Taskmaster on the same level of Lady Shiva based on my interpretation. Oh, she's not.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. She's not at all. No,
man,
I agree with you.
My favorite issue of Batman is when Lady Shiva beat the hell out of him.
No, wait. Hold on. Full disclaimer. Lady Shiva whipped his ass.
She whipped his ass. And she whipped his ass hard. Bad. Batman even admits that she is one of the greatest martial artists in the world, because you got to understand, for Lady Shiva, you know, everybody has that journey and they have to get rid of their weakness. Lady Shiva's weakness was her little sister. She loved her little sister. Yeah. When she realized that she was a weakness, she killed her ass. I'm like, she said, I'm gonna kill you so nobody can use you against me. That is Lady Shiva.
There are a few hood movies that have that same motif. We're not reviewing hood movies because those are sad movies, but they hood movies. They cool, but they sad. Shout out to Prim's Hood Cinema. He may never watch this, but I watch your stuff. You review good. They hood movies. I appreciate you, but no, Batman, no, sir. And once again, Lady Shiva, she's a badass. That's period. She's an all-star. There's no way around that. She really is. Like, even though I said what I said before, I do kind of stand by it, but still, Lady Shiva is pretty bad. No.
See now our friendship is restored.
Don't you start? I will come to your place.
You get a Christmas
card. I will come
to
your place and rap on your door. I will rap on your doorbell with a finger.
First of all, you know where I live, and you know when you get up those damn stairs, you're not gonna have energy to rap on my door.
I work out every day. We're gonna do this.
You know, I got those Big Bang Theory stairs. They keep going.
I will ring that doorbell until your husband comes down to come get out.
Hold up? Do I have a doorbell? No, sir.
Okay, no. Okay, you know what though? I will either call you or throw rocks into your balcony. You will understand that I'm there.
So the only issue Hulk is weaker than 616 Hulk, but a scene like that in the MCU would definitely boost Blue Marvel over Super. True. You know what? I'm gonna reserve my opinion on the Hulks until I see She-Hulk, because I'm waiting to see what they do with She-Hulk.
That whole argument is complicated. That depends on who you like more on that point. Like, I mean, Hulk is stronger no matter what. Superman is as strong as you want him to be. So I mean,
yeah. Batman Soul of the Dragon features Lady Shiva as a major character. Yes, I did see
Yeah.
that, and I am super excited about it.
Yeah,
I've
not seen it. I've not seen it yet, so don't spoil
that
it.
is on my list. I haven't seen it yet, but it is on my list to buy. So it is coming. So I will have it, and it shall be mine. Because again, I love anything. There are some things I can't watch with Lady Shiva because it's too effing unbelievable. As much as I like the old school, and I say old school, Birds of Prey, that of course had Alice's actor Rachel. I always forget her last name. She was in it where she plays Canary's daughter. They had an episode with Lady Shiva that was so effing unbelievable. I couldn't. That was not Lady Shiva, not at all. So, but there have been other. There technically been other versions of her in live media that I do support, and there's one video game in specific. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm like, yeah, everything she's doing right here, that's what she would do. Like, cause she just doesn't have the capacity to give a fuck about what she just doesn't have it. She's like, she literally had Orphan because she made a deal to have Orphan. She's like, okay, I'll pop this baby out. You wanted to have an heir, bam, go do your thing, and now I'm gonna go off and do mine. Peace out. Basically, that's literally her.
That actually is exactly what happened, by the way.
Yep. So yes, Lady Shiva is in a couple of games. I'll have to find them, and when I find them, I'll put them in the description.
She'll do it. I guarantee it.
Yep, I only remember Arkham Origins. There's another one that she was in. I'll find it. I might have even referenced it in my spotlight video. I think I did reference it.
She's referenced in a lot of video game media for real. She really is.
Yeah, I effing love Shiva. Love her.
Because she's Maria.
Yashahime is getting a manga adaptation. Hey, okay.
Really?
I mean,
interesting. I never watched any of it.
Oh, it's good. It's good, but there are moments where there's a lot of filler. There's a lot of filler in that show. There are moments that are good.
I haven't watched a lot of new anime because it disappoints me. I actually, it's funny. I started watching Dr. Stone, and then it went to like a premium level service. I'm like, oh well, never mind. Hell with it.
Yeah, that happens. Unfortunately, streaming it gets on my nerves when you get into something before you can finish it. They've already taken it off.
Doesn't it make you angry? I was actually on the phone with it too. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it may be on another service you have. I've been noticing there's stuff that popped up on Hulu recently that was on Netflix. So I mean, I don't know. What do you think of the Netflix Jessica Jones show? I did not hate it. I wanted to smack the hell out of Trish throughout the entire run.
Ooh.
I did actually one of my first videos on Trish. Seriously, one of the first videos I had on my channel was a Nerd Court video. Nerd Court is basically when I ask a question and then I provide a take, and then it's up to you to decide if it's right or wrong. But my question was Trish the real villain of Jessica Jones? And yeah, everyone's like, oh, the purple man. No, it was actually Trish. Trish caused so much shit. Yeah, her mother messed her up, but Trish caused so much, crap and a lot of obstacles and a lot of crap that happened for Jessica that she really was the worst thing that happened to Jessica in that entire series. That's my opinion. Again, now I understand the whole trauma of it. I do. Like, her mother literally had her sleep with a producer or a director when she was a child to get her cast in the role. She was the ultimate, stage mom. That woman was nuts. So I get it. But at the same time, I've always lived the model of we all go through stuff, but do not crap out on other people. Yeah. Don't pay it forward. And Trish is just one of those characters that's just But overall, I liked Jessica Jones. I loved the actress who played Jessica Jones. I liked her story. I wish they were more comic accurate. Yes, she had a connection, and yes, she did sleep with Luke Cage. But her and Luke, technically, the comics, they are endgame. They have a daughter named Daniela, and we never got to see the progression of them. Just like the whole thing with Colleen.
It's a whole thing. We get to that part, like Wolverine dating Squirrel Girl and all that shit. We get into that level of comic level foolishness. It gets weird. But the Jessica Jones, first of all, the Netflix, and I'm gonna be real, I didn't watch Defenders. I didn't watch it. I know it's fun. I never found when it came out, I started working more. So I should probably actually watch that. But for what it's worth, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage were in Daredevil. After the season 1, oh my God, for Daredevil. Oh my God.
The Daredevil was just great across the board.
Hell
I
yeah.
have no problem.
Like season 1 was cool, but kind of slow. But I was wondering, like, what was season 1? This is.
I mean, I like Punisher season 1. I did not. Now, to be fair, I am behind, guys. I have not seen the last season of Punisher. That is on my list. I need to go back. I am so late to that game. I just got distracted and I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, fix your camera again.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Hold on one second.
Fine. And then, but back to the whole thing with Danny Reed. So Danny Reed was always with Misty Knight. They broke up a few times, got back together a few times, but it was always Danny and Misty. So him giving her the arm and all that tracks with me. But there was never a universe where Colleen and Danny were together. That's just really weird. It was always Colleen and Misty being, basically a crime fighting detective duo, but there was never a Danny and Colleen. That whole thing was just insane to me, which is another thing about Marvel shows reinventing the wheel. So, it's just like I said, it's a thing. It's a thing. I was not happy with Finn's portrayal of Danny. I'm not saying that Finn is a bad actor. I'm just saying he was boring as shit. He was just boring to me. It's bad when all of the side characters were more entertaining than Danny was. So it's a thing. It is a thing. I was like, you did not miss out on the Defenders. I didn't mind it, but I didn't. It was. There was a lot more they could have done with that. I agree with that. Apparently, a choreographer for Iron Fist said Finn Jones, the animated actor, did not want to train for his fight scenes. Oh, okay. Well, do you, boo? I'm like, and apparently they let him get away with that. That's something that I don't understand. So, whatever. Hulk spitting a missile at a helicopter is an iconic comic book movie scene. In the comics, one of the most iconic Hulk moments for me is when he just picks up Wolverine and just rips him in half. He's like, part over there. Still crazy that Wolverine's body was crawling back together, but which tells you that Wolverine in a way is OP. But it's a thing. What is your favorite adaptation of the Hulk? She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk.
You say that. I say the what was it? Not the Incredible Hulk, but the Asian guy was playing the Hulk, man. So I couldn't run the battery for my camera. I'm about to go back to the thing.
Well, I like are you talking about Amadeus Cho?
That's his name, yeah. Sorry, I try to use Hulk. Sorry, I try to use my camera again, and it was like, huh? And I see like I try a way to like the hell with it. We're sticking to the webcam. It's going to be the webcam from now on. I tried to save it. I couldn't save it. Sorry. We hear
I understand. But yeah, Amadeus Cho is a very good Hulk. I have no problem with Amadeus. But again, that brings me back to like the Atlas Foundation and the Agents of Atlas because he's all those in that. So
what about the Civil War Hulk that everybody loves so much?
I didn't really
see. I heard that deep dive.
Immortal Hulk is pretty good.
He's not bad. But what I hate is when I talk to you about any Marvel thing, they're like, they can't beat the Hulk. And I'm like, the Hulk?
Which version? Like, which one?
They're like, then he goes to say, not Civil War Hulk. That's a one-off what if, by the way, scenario. That's not how the Hulk is. Like,
no. What was it?
Yeah, totally awesome Hulk.
Savage Hulk. Savage Hulk is also a run that I remember that I thought was pretty cool. Savage Hulk was like insane.
Even so, remember, in their universe, there is a Deadpool. He will always be there.
Yeah.
So do what you will with that information.
I mean, what is it? With your damn, I can't help imagine Martian Manhunter speaking on stream.
Hold on, wait. I see you this comment. Wait, hold on. Let's do it this way. Yes, Ito, I understand. There are ways we can do this, but ways we cannot. However, while I am here with Maria Park, I will take on this face and this voice. Please do not misunderstand. I seem like I'm drinking. It is all water. Everything I do is overrepresented to be a human amongst you. So, just please be patient. I am here for you and for them all. See Maria, how impatient she looks? She doesn't understand. It's
That's
okay.
because you keep calling me Maria and my name is Kate.
You see me, Kate? It is
It's
okay.
also Kate Kane if you're nasty.
Give me a beat. Anyway, let me turn the thing back on.
We got problems, guys. I love that you're having us like literally react.
Yeah, I said, Maria looks so proud right now. We're proud. You know how many voiceover I've done for Maria? I've done voiceover for her. You have no idea. She doesn't post everything I've recorded with her. Like
I have
voiceovers, singing roles, all kinds of stuff.
We have a lot more stuff coming in the future though. So that is
not even future, like this before. Like
no, I'm just saying we have a lot more posting things coming in the future. So.
I've been working with Maria back when we were both skinny. Like, calm down.
when we were young.
So
I think probably about 12 years.
Yeah, like back when we were in undergrad. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I've known Maria for a long time.
And my daughter was young when we met. So
yes, I remember.
Yeah,
she was like,
that's why we talk crap to each other like this. It's just I have friends I've known for a very long time, and he's one of them.
When I first met your baby girl, she was in elementary school, and she gave me a hug, and I was like, "Oh, sweet baby." That's how. And to this day, I know she doesn't. I'm not gonna say her name on the thing because I don't.
They know her name. She did a video. Her name is Mai M-A-I.
Okay. Sorry.
She did a Final Fantasy review for the channel.
You did, yeah. And no, and Mai will probably hear this video later on, but Mai knows she's my little baby girl. She knows that, and like it is what it is. Like like I've been knowing her for so long, and I help in some ways take care of her and not nurture, but like keep her safe from stuff. So yeah, I've known Maria for a very
long time.
Almost too long.
Yeah.
Almost. When are we? I
think our expiration date's coming up. Actually, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like when do we expire? We got like another.
I think we got another 2-3 years. Yeah. Like, and this whole friendship is over. But you did bring something great to my life. Not your friendship, but your wife is amazing.
Oh, damn. Excuse me.
So anyway.
Second time's a charm, I guess.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, let's see. I agree. Lady Shiva, Arkham Origins did her dirty. Absolutely. Nick Nolte was crazy good as Bruce's father.
Entirely, actually. It did her so wrong.
Nick Nolte is not a bad actor. People need to leave a little old Nick alone. He's not a bad actor. He actually needs to be in more things. I don't know his personal story.
You think so?
Know. Huh?
You think so?
Well, I mean, he's been in things that I thought were really good back in the day.
Back in the day.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen him in anything recent. I haven't. So I don't know what he's doing right now, but So yeah, like he said, don't bring up the question again. So you guys stay together. No, we fight about everything. That's not what we fight about. If you want to see me and Groove fight, all I have to do is say, I love Cora.
I will. We will.
And just so you know, Cora, right here, right there.
First and foremost, don't act like we didn't buy you a Cora gift.
I know you did. And see that just tells you right now, innerly in your soul, you know I'm right.
Oh, if you want to see a cast on that with me, oh God,
we could never film that video. We were going to, but there'd be too much profanity.
Oh my God, the Mary Sueism. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No, nothing.
Oh, he talking again. So isn't Hellcat a wholesome character in the comics? I could be wrong since I don't follow the character, but her drug addict portrayal in Netflix was so surprising. So technically, yeah, she literally had a crush on Spider-Man, and her whole run was basically her finding herself. She is completely different than Trish. It's completely different from Trish.
Actually, no, not completely. Absolutely Like, Jesus.
Patsy Walker is nothing like Trish. It's almost like they're not even the same character. And for me, they're not. I mean, yeah, that was actually her real name, and Trish was her stage name or whatever. But I always thought that was stupid. I'm like, I don't know why they didn't just keep her that way. But again, to be fair, we had a whole freaking Daredevil show with no connection to Spider-Man whatsoever, and that's always been odd.
It wasn't that. Didn't that feel dirty?
It felt weird.
Oh, no,
it was really weird.
No, weird. No. It felt dirty. It felt dirty. It felt wrong. Daredevil, Spider-Man. Sometimes Spider-Man hangs out on the perch like, I'm bored. There's like, hey, what's going on, Peter? They're like, oh, what's going on, Matt? Oh, I ain't doing anything. I'm just waiting on something to pop off. Like, that happens a lot in their universe. Like, it's bizarre. Like, anyway, but all right.
Mercenary, what if Sophie wasn't a bat chaser? I love you using my words. That's probably gonna get back to her actress, and she's gonna come for me. But I mean, it's fine.
I gave a Joker laugh on that one.
I mean, to be real, since we're in our BS, let's trash everything comic related hour. Sophie as a character is great. What they have done to Sophie is effed up. They literally made this intelligent ass black woman.
I like how you made that. It ain't that small. Just effed up. Just effed up.
I'm trying to keep it PG, but no, I mean, this woman, she's smart. She was a soldier, graduated top of her class. Yeah, she didn't cave to, or she caved to the don't ask, don't tell, and little Kate went out brokenhearted. But she stayed in. She was dedicated. She was was military. She worked for the Crows. She was very badass. She's the one that actually could go into situations and fight. And then for some reason, when Kate went away, well, actually even before that in a way, she was still trying to get with Kate, which, okay, that's your first love, blah, blah, blah. You think that's your soulmate, blah, blah, blah. Well, then you break up and then you start sleeping with Julia, who, by the way, again, wore the bat suit because she was pretending to be Kate because they were trying to throw suspicion off of Kate. They saw Kate here and then she was running around as Batwoman so they could see they were both, separate, the trope they do in comics and shows all the damn time. But that means that Sophie slept with Kate, who is Batwoman, and she slept with Julia, who is Batwoman, and now she's flirting with Ryan. So if she gets with Ryan, she a bat chaser.
I saw Yito's comment. More than Aang.
Don't make me mute you. Don't make me mute you. I'll mute you. Don't you dumb you
dead to me.
It don't matter, Yito. What does this channel say? Approach the nerd. Who's ATN? Right here. You good, baby. You can stay right where you at. Don't listen to Groove. You are not dead. And he will, and you know what? He'll answer your stuff in the future. You'll be all right.
If you want a real martial arts analysis and all that stuff, come to my channel.
Like I said.
There's
always going to be haterade in the world.
It's not haterade. It's not haterade. It's just storytelling. Storytelling.
Where there's some great things about Sophie's character in season 1. Yeah, there are, but Sophie was not this whiny character. There are lots of like instances where I can compare her to the character like Felicity and Arrow, a character that literally
to be for real, like there are some decent. I feel weird because it's like I know how it ends. It doesn't matter. See, yeah, the development wasn't bad. It's the result. That's the problem. It's always the problem. I feel like they don't ever know how to like close characters out. And I say that knowing that I read comics in the 90s. And that says a whole lot about.
Well, remember the Golden Age and Silver Age was going to be problematic because of the time periods they were written in. I mean, it's just what it is. Like, now everything has representation. Everything has a label. Even whether you like it or not, everything has a label. And people try to stay under the radar because, let's be clear, no company wants to be canceled. So now the era of comics has taken a definite turn. And some people don't like it. Some people do. Some people would like to have progression be organic and not, as they say, forced. And some people always just, like me, this is my stance on everything. We wouldn't have all of this crap if it was fair from the beginning. But let's be clear. I mean, the U.S., as I like to tell people, the U.S. has not been fair since 1492. So why are you trying to wait now? I don't understand. It has not
You
been
said
fair.
since then, since before then. What the hell?
1490. Well, since we got it on record, 1492. Like, so I'm just saying. It's
You know the Louisiana Purchase, the Mexican American War. That's not. Well, it's not a history podcast. Let's not go there.
No, it's not. No, like I'm going back to the other part of my family. I'm going back to my First Nation Native roots because there's a lot of problems back in 1492. Do you think Kate or Ryan had a better origin story in the show? Oh no.
I'm gonna step back on that one.
Okay, guys.
I don't want to demonetize your channel, so I'm gonna let that be.
Yeah, I talked about this, and we're gonna be leaving in a minute because we're almost to 2 hours, and I know people are like, "Why is this stream so long for episode review?"
I am not because I have.
No, you take a step back. I take the heat. It's fine.
I have,
because,
I have so many choice.
Look,
I have so many choice effing words for that.
And even though I am in touch with my blackness, guys, I don't have a problem with my blackness. I love my black side. I'm not averse to it. I don't get upset. I'm not ashamed. I don't hide it. Never have I in my entire damn life. If they ever make an autobiography for me, people will tell you in my past that I have never not claimed my black side and my blackness. So with that being said,
Maria is super light skinned, by the way, but she is black.
I don't know how they got that.
I met her family.
My dad is black and Native, and my mother was white. So I'm considered mixed. I basically say I'm mixed or biracial.
I will say this on record: her dad is my skin color.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think maybe a half.
He's actually a little bit darker. He's darker than you.
Yeah, like a half shade so darker than me. So just so y'all know, yes, Maria.
But I have to disclaimer this because whenever I say stuff, people are like, you don't talk about the black community. You don't stand up for the black community. Because if I say something about charm, people are like, oh, I see you take up for Hispanic people, but you don't say anything about black people. And I'm like, I guess you don't watch my Black Lightning reviews. I guess you aren't really getting what I'm saying when I say I don't support Ryan Wilder. You don't get what I'm saying.
I'll put it like this. She doesn't say this. I'm black and trying to say if she says the word nigga, she's fine. Like, no, she will never say it because she doesn't like that word.
I don't like it.
I was raised in a hood where that word is acceptable. But
but he doesn't say it to me.
No, I don't know. I don't say it to her ever because she's like, don't say that. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm a respectable human being. Yeah.
I don't like
Maria is black. She is a black person for real.
But let me make my point about Ryan Wilder. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Good.
Here we go.
Do that.
Ryan Wilder in the Batwoman series was good in concept. But my problem is the writing. This is the problem. The reason I cannot support Ryan Wilder is because of how they write her.
Do what you gotta do. Oh my God.
So to summarize this question, Kate had a better origin story because Ryan also has Kate's origin story. She doesn't have a story of her own. The only thing that she has that's real to her and significant to her is she lived in a damn van. She had a plant and she went to jail. That's literally it. Everything else about Ryan is Kate's shit. Her apartment. She's the manager of her club. She is friends with her sister, her BFFs with Luke. She is Batwoman. She has basically the same enemies. She's got beef with Alice. I mean, it is literally verbatim Kate Kane's story. She even had a connection with F and Jacob. So tell me when we get Ryan, and then I will let you know who has the better origin story. And that's what I'm saying. Mic drop. Done with that.
Good. Thank you.
Let's see here. Would you say not many people own a plant? Oh, you know. So I don't know if you realize this, but you try to break people. I don't know what is going on. But it's a thing. You know what? On that note, I think we're gonna get out of here. This is a long stream. I know we got talking about other stuff. We do this all the time.
I lost video footage like twice,
which is fine. I mean, but at least we got our thoughts out. I always come back to the original content that we were discussing. We loved episode 2 of What If. Again, T'Challa is the man.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. The whole point of this.
I mean, it's really what this episode is about. Is how
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, how effing amazing T'Challa is basically the overall episode 2 review. And I cannot wait for episode 3. I don't know what it's about. I'm trying to keep.
I'm gonna tell you, Yito, man, got me laughing my ass off. I don't know you at all. That was a funny man.
Like I said, every week there's always a few people in here to just break you. Yito was one of them. Latinos have moments like Latino and Ray. Ray says things that literally I feel like I laugh so hard my kidneys are popping out and I just can't move. Sometimes I can't react to it in the stream, and I'm like internal. I'm like, no, you did not just say that.
Sometimes I laugh because I don't want to respond exactly. I try. Like sometimes it's like I don't respond because I don't want to say they're irresponsible or to like completely ruin your channel with my opinions. Because I'm like, good look. But Yito, man, dude, come on, man, come on.
Yito is awesome. Yito is Kurosami like me. You know what? It's fine, Yito. I got you.
Don't you start that. Well, I don't stop. I don't mind Kurosami. I just don't like. You know what?
You know what? You need to read some Korra fanfics and then just
fanfics ain't the series. It's like headcanon.
So anyway, thank you for being on the stream. I have more videos coming out this weekend. I got my first trash comic. It is coming out tomorrow. And then also, I actually filmed myself playing my first ever MMO online game. It's called Guild Wars 2. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to put it up for you guys as something that you can laugh your ass off about because I didn't put up a thank you 1K video. I will do that when we get to 2K, but I just wanted to just show you how Maria is when she plays a game. So it's very short. I think it's like 6 minutes long. But you guys are going to get to literally hear me play my first ever online game.
Like Yito's oh Lord,
it's gonna be interesting. So I will pop that up too. Enjoy.
Now,
all right, guys.
Just so y'all know, I am Groovy Guide and Guru. My channel is about martial arts and philosophy. So if you want to learn about
in the description box below,
it is down there. So you want to know about martial arts. You want to see me do cool kicks and punches, or about the philosophy martial arts and all that stuff in general, or in philosophy in life because it all coincides. Check my channel out. I got stuff to say and cool things to do. I'm also on TikTok because I'm trying to keep up with the cool kids, even though I'm old.
You're old. I'm ancient. I mean, by 10 years in one day.
First of all, you're not. First of all, if you're ancient, then I'm young. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we're just aging too well. I don't know.
He lost the track.
Look, whatever. Like I don't know.
Yito said you will see a subscription from him, so I guess he's no longer canceled. But all right, guys, it is now 2 hours and 2 minutes. So if it is day for you, have a good day. If it is night for you, have a good night, and we will see you next week to do this whole crazy crack all over again for episode 3. Bye, guys.
Later.